Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad you can make it. This is a live broadcast, so I'm very excited that you're able to make it here at this time to be with me. It is always exciting to be live on air. Well, a little scary too, but that's okay. That's how we learn. That's what developing confidence is all about. Trying things that are a little scary and getting a little bit better at them every time you do them. My name is Gwen Chappell. I am a career executive coach and a career development specialist, a former career counselor. And I have been talking about career confidence and just what it is and how you can get more of it. So I see confidence as being a combination of competence and self-belief in yourself, and then also a certainty that you can recreate that competence at any time. And it's closely related to that self-belief and that belief in your ability to have an effect and get the desired results that you want. So I've been doing a survey on career confidence. And today's topic is what are KSAs and how do they relate to career confidence? So you might not know what KSAs are, and you'll just have to wait a second, and I'll tell you in a couple of minutes. But first, I just wanted to bring everybody up to speed in case anybody's just dropping in for the first time. I've been doing a little survey on career and asking people what their number one challenge is when it comes to career confidence. And I came up with a number of results, and the results here are kind of summarized here. We've got the challenges seem to be around career choice and just what kind of career was the best career for them, and then how do you get to that career. So it's about job searching and presenting your best face forward branding, that kind of thing. Navigating is once you get into a position, how do you establish yourself, and how do you prove your competence and your ability. Hi, Rhonda, saying my cousin is saying hello. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. So navigating is about establishing your competence and navigating, proving your abilities, getting recognized for your abilities. Social negotiation is managing the social aspects. So what do you do when you are the victim of a bias? So something like ageism. Why are you not being, why isn't your competence being recognized? So that's what I've categorized as social negotiation. And the last piece, which I see you can just barely see in there, is social intelligence. And social intelligence is a combination of managing yourself and your self-awareness and also reaching out to others. And I see the work that I do as a career counselor, or the work that I used to do as a career counselor, because I'm more of a coach now than a counselor, is really related to all of these things, because it's about identifying who you are and what you want to do. And I see that my little drawing will not show up on the screen, so I'm going to have to recreate it. So we'll just take this off. Sorry for the noise. There we go. And so we had, last time I was talking about the center of career confidence, which is the three aspects: personality, interests, and values. My values got a little bump in them, but that's kind of what values are. We're often unclear about them and exactly what we want to do, because we may say we want to do one thing. We believe in, say, like health. And so we would say, oh yeah, we really want to be the healthiest we can. And then we forget to exercise, or we have food that we know is not good for us. So our values have an interesting way of showing up in our lived values, in our lived actions, how we actually embody our values. But that's actually a topic for another day. I'm getting a little sidetracked here. So we've got personality, and I see you can see it today, interests, and values. So those are what I think of as the core of the personality, and it's evolving. It's not something that is entirely stable, but it's pretty stable. We can make some pretty good guesses about it, but it's not totally rigid. So we just want to remain open to new ideas and open to new possibilities. And, on one hand, we need an identity to say, this is who I am and this is what I stand for. And on the other hand, we need to recognize that maybe I'm outgrowing some of those values or some of those interests, or maybe I've grown bigger and maybe I'm more than what I thought I was. Again, a topic for another day. I am getting to KSAs. So finally, I have to pick a good color for this. What did I use there? I guess I'll use plain old black for this. KSA, knowledge, skills, and abilities. Let me say that again to the camera this time. Knowledge, skills, and abilities. And we develop those as a result of this other part. And so we have, let's just make a circle here. Try to make a circle here. So this is knowledge, skills, and abilities. KSA. And we develop those knowledge, skills, and abilities in interaction with our environment. So when we think of our environment, we're thinking of, first of all, our social environment. So we're born into a family. We're born into a family of origin where we have interactions, and we grow up with a certain set of values, and we learn certain skills from our parents, certain social skills, as well as certain knowledge and skills and abilities. And they do result of our own interests. And if we're really lucky and we have a good supportive family of origin, they encourage us to develop our interests. And they encourage us to think about our values and what our parents would like us to believe, and actually encourage us to think for ourselves so that we can develop our own independent thought processes and eventually differentiate from the family of origin and stand on our own. So other influences in this family of origin, oh, I forgot to draw my circle here. Other interests in this social environment would be our friends as we're moving up in starting school and going to our teenage years, our extended family, as we tend to get into our teens, peer group tends to be quite important for a time. As we get a little older yet, we'll find that we are interested in developing a relationship with a significant other, and that individual will also have an influence on us. And as we enter the workforce, we'll find that our workmates and our colleagues and our mentors, our professional associates will also have an influence on us. And something else I want to just mention here is that the social also includes a culture. So the culture that we grow up, and then there's the geographic area which will also have an influence on us and what we learn and what we value and what we're going to appreciate and develop further. And economics, because if we are born into a certain economic climate, or we try to enter the workforce at a certain economic climate, it's not when we're actually physically born, but when we're born into the workforce. When we enter that economic environment, and if it's a particular kind of environment where jobs are tough and scarce and it's hard to break in, we get a certain, we don't get as many opportunities to develop some certain skills and abilities. We might be more restricted in our opportunities. So all these things are going to affect our development of our knowledge, skills, and abilities. And our knowledge, skills, and abilities are also going to be impacted by our personality, our interests, and our values. So these are all sorts of interactions going on between here. So I'm just going to draw a little circle around here. This is what I think of as the core self. And then the knowledge, skills, and abilities are things that are we can develop in relationship with the environment. So how do we, going back to our career choice here, how do we take our skills, knowledge, and abilities, and how does it relate to career confidence? Remember I said that career confidence is a combination of competence, self-belief in yourself, and certainty. So when you become more certain of who you are and what you're good at, your knowledge, skills, and abilities, you become more certain of your competence. But you also need feedback between others. So there's a relationship that goes in back here, back and forth here. This little connection is really vital to our development as individuals and as fulfilling our best selves and becoming our best selves. We need to have that feedback from others. We need to see ourselves as others see us, because we don't always recognize our qualities. We don't always know the kind of impact that we have on others. I know that when I first saw myself on video, I was able to take myself out of that self-conscious, oh my goodness, look at my hair kind of attitude, and just look at me as if I were a stranger. Look at that person and as that video of me as if I were a stranger. I was struck by how gentle and how soft-spoken and how quiet and low-key I was. And I know now why people would always say to me, well, you don't look nervous, because I just have a natural kind of gentle quality that's kind of soothing and relaxing. I didn't know that about myself. That's not how I perceive myself. So it's very beneficial to get feedback from others, to see yourselves as others see you, because that gives you essential information. And it's also essential when it comes to finding work opportunities, because you need to see yourself as others see you so that you understand what you're bringing to the table. And on the other side, you need to know what others need, because that's where the opportunity lies. So when you get very good at understanding what the other person needs and then understanding how you can meet those needs, you have created opportunity for yourself. So that is my little spiel for today. I don't want to keep you too long. I just wanted to share with you some of this information, which I find so exciting. And I love working with this with people, and I find individuals so exciting and interesting. One of my interests or my loves is story. I've always loved stories. I always like to read about characters and read about their adventures. And being a career coach allows me to do that. I get to hear somebody else's story, listen to it, and ask questions so that I understand what it is, what their experience is, and hopefully ask questions that helps that individual have a new perspective on who they are and what they're good at, and allow them to look at things in a little different way. And I find that is just so enriching for me, and hopefully for my clients too. Just to be totally honest, I do want to serve, but I do get a lot out of serving, and I do enjoy it. So that is it for today, and I'll be speaking again next week. In the meantime, I would love if you would just leave comments below and let me know if you have a career challenge that you would like me to talk about, and if you found this useful, or if you found anything confusing and you would like clarification, just pop that in the comments below. And if you really like it, or even if you don't really like it, but you like it enough to give it a thumbs up, that would be much appreciated. And until next time, all the best.